top. By the dip, we won't let this moment stop. Sats in our pockets, we're running on this wave. To the moon we go, in crypto we are brave.
To the moon we go, in crypto we are brave. Okay, so we're going to be talking today about Bitcoin and Mercury Retrograde coming up here on November 26th. That's in about 24 hours. And that is when this planet, Mercury right here, appears to go in the opposite direction around the sun. So previously it was going around behind the sun this way. And now, so it's going left compared to the Earth. And now it's going to stall out and go to in the opposite direction there. So typically we call that retrograde, and then direct when it goes back around the other way. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. So typically with Mercury retrograde, more often than not, I've looked through all the history books of every single year since 2009 when Bitcoin was born. How did Mercury retrograde affect the Bitcoin price action? And believe it or not, it actually has had about a 75% chance of a correction or slowdown, like sideways price action. So we will talk a lot more about that in this video today. What could be coming up, what could we have in store for Bitcoin here? So we look at where we're at right now. We are getting a dump so far. So this can definitely happen, Mercury retrograde. During these times, Bitcoin can get a correction even days before the Mercury retrograde starts. So we're already seeing that really the one day before so far. This is happening at the same time that the Russell 2000 is just tapped the previous all-time high right here. So typically that's very, very bullish. We want to see the Russell get through here. It's just tapped that previous all-time high where that dotted line is. But we got to get through there. We got to get a weekly close above that, and that would be extremely, extremely bullish for Bitcoin and a potential altcoin run. All right, so that is looking quite good. So let's go back here, and I wanted to. Well, first off, I have to say, welcome back to the Crypto Astro channel, bringing a radical, innovative new approach to crypto analysis, combining technical analysis with astrology. Please subscribe, smash that subscribe button as I put out these high-value videos for free every week. But none of this content is financial or investment advice. This content is intended for entertainment and informational purposes. Okay, let's go back to the Mercury retrograde topic. So it goes retrograde tomorrow, and that's this planet right here. And as it continues, it retrogrades back through the sun. But the interesting thing is Mercury is in Sagittarius. Now, it's been in Sagittarius already since, I believe, early November. And it's going to continue to stay in Sagittarius all the way to next year, January 8th, January 7th, around there. This is very significant because the last time Mercury was retrograding in Sagittarius and stayed there for a couple months, which is much longer than it stays in one sign. Usually it's a couple weeks or 3 weeks. Take a look at the previous time that this happened. We got to go all the way back in the history books. Back to 2017. Who are the OGs that were invested in Bitcoin and crypto back in 2017? Raise your hand. All right, I was one of them. Yeah, I bought around somewhere of these levels when I got started. So this is what happened. Take a look at the first vertical red line here. That was when Mercury went retrograde in Sagittarius. It stayed in Sagittarius this whole time, even heading into January, just like it's going to do now. And that, take a look at it, guys. This is literally the blow off top, the peak of the bull market. So very, very, very interesting that we are heading into somewhat similar astrology as we were in the very peak of 2017. And for those of you who were involved in crypto back then, we all know that there was extreme greed in December, extreme euphoria. Everybody was calling for, the prices to go much higher. People were saying, we're just getting started. But that was literally the peak. Okay, so we take that into account. The previous time we had this Mercury retrograde, just like this, we had a major blow off top. And let's see if there were any corrections. I mean, there was a couple corrections a couple days before the Mercury retrograde, but there was one here during Mercury retrograde. I mean, but overall it was going up before we saw it fall back off here. But really, if you bought at the beginning of Mercury retrograde, you would still close above that in the next month. So keep that in mind. We also have Mars retrograding in early, I believe around December 8th. But it's getting a positive transit to, thankfully, it's getting a positive transit to the Bitcoin moon. So here's the Bitcoin chart, and I'll be talking more about that. Well, we could just take a look at it. So Mars was opposite Mercury, the Bitcoin Mercury, on November 13th. But then Mars is going to trine the Bitcoin moon on November 20th and again on December 22nd. So potentially a lot of bullish. Wow, so we already got November 20th, and Bitcoin was doing extremely well then. It was getting up to the higher 90s. Perhaps, since it already got that peak pretty close to this date, November 20th. Let's actually double check that. Wow, almost on the dot. Bitcoin tapped 99 just a day after this transit got a direct hit. Almost exactly on the day. We're getting that again December 22nd. So perhaps we could get another Bitcoin peak around December 22nd, give or take a couple days. But that's very interesting because now we are getting a little bit more negative hits. Mercury squaring Saturn, with also Mercury trining the Bitcoin Neptune on the 24th. So we're getting a couple negatives. Or no, we're getting one negative and one positive here. We're also getting Venus conjuncting the Bitcoin Sun. That is a euphoric potential peak. Wow. We literally got the exact local peak here on November 22nd when we get this signature Venus conjunct the Bitcoin Sun, which can mark market peaks. Now, I'm not saying this is the bull run market peak, but it could be a local peak. In the worst case scenario, this could be the bull run peak. I'm saying in the worst case scenario. I'm not saying that's what I think, but there is always that chance. Maybe it's a 20% chance, something like that. I'm not sure the exact statistics, but that's interesting to note. Oh, we are getting Venus conjuncting the Bitcoin Jupiter on December 6th, which is actually extremely bullish. So that's why I would expect more upside momentum, especially with also this Mars trining the Bitcoin moon there. Okay, I'm giving you guys some good information. So smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Please support this channel as I'm putting these videos out for free. Okay, let's look at the weekly close. Really, really great weekly close here at 97, almost 98,000 for Bitcoin. Phenomenal. We're getting nice uptrend in the volume as the prices are going sky high. We are also getting this daily exchange volume has been skyrocketing pretty clearly there. It's getting up to levels that we haven't seen since 2021 in April, when we're getting major market peaks and an altcoin run. So there is a chance this could lead to an altcoin run. A lot of altcoins are already shooting off. We're even seeing meme coins going absolutely crazy. Well, I shouldn't say even. These have been really the stealer of the show here. We're getting peak Google searches for meme coins right now at the end of November. Wow. Very, very high peak searches there. So we got to keep that in mind. Are we hitting levels of euphoria yet? We sure are on the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. However, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed, Bitcoin can stay in extreme greed for months. At least if it happens similarly to what happened in 2021, we see back here. Even starting in 2020, we were getting into extreme levels of greed. Even in November 2020, before the bull market peak, December 2020, we were getting extreme greed. And it's interesting that the greed actually went down a bit when Bitcoin was hitting its all-time highs above 60,000 before it really fell off into fear. So yeah, previously it stayed up at these levels for months and months. So that would be the best case scenario that that this could last months here. Important to note that. Now, if we look at the RSI here, RSI is peaking out, but starting to fall off a bit. Let's see, what level did it hit right there? Okay. Similar levels as the end of last year. And things went well last year, as you all remember. Oh my gosh. We are actually getting a stochastic. I'm just noticing this now. I did not see this yesterday. It's showing a stochastic RSI cross down. That is a little concerning. I guess with that little dump, it's just crossed down. We still have not gotten the weekly we got the weekly close yesterday, I believe. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. Yesterday it was showing it was not crossing, and now today it's crossing. So a little concern there, but we haven't gotten the next weekly close, which is December 2nd. So we'll probably have to wait for December 2nd to see how that pans out. On the 2-week longer term, it's looking extremely good. It's skyrocketing momentum. And also on the monthly is skyrocketing. So that's looking great. So most indicators are looking quite good. We're getting huge volume on the monthly scale there as Bitcoin shot into an all-time high. And what else shall we take a look at? Bitcoin is way above the 21 SMA. We were concerned about this back in August because it was below that, but now we're above that. We'd always want to be above that in the bull run. Okay, one thing really interesting I wanted to show y'all is what happened the last time Trump was elected and what happened to Bitcoin. Okay, if we take a look at this green line, this is what happened. Oh, I actually want to go on a closer scale, so I got to zoom out again. But as you'll see here, we got some bullish momentum, but we also got some corrections the last time Trump was elected. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen exactly like this, but markets can rhyme. But it's really, this is actually extremely interesting to note that, you know, he got elected in November 2016. Markets were going up to all the way to the end of the year. Wow. So could we actually could see something like this. This is very interesting. So markets were going up and they really went quite euphoric at the end of December 16. Really interesting. I wonder if a lot of people thought this was the bull market peak, probably. But this was just kind of the beginning. But look at this massive correction. Wow, that is a 37% correction. Wow, 37% correction. And I bet you a lot of people thought it was all over after that. And then that was just the beginning, honestly. That was a phenomenal buying opportunity. Markets recovered for a few more months. And then there's another major correction. Extreme volatility, 34% correction before heading up higher. I mean, this almost looks like a bull market peak there. Bet a lot of people thought that. But just look at all these major corrections here. I mean, this one right here from the peak, 30%, and then it bounced back up, but then it went back down again. Wow, 41%. So anywhere from 30% to 40% corrections. Man, I mean, this is one of the most volatile assets in the world. If we got a 30 to 40% correction, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but it's certainly possible. Holy moly, we could literally, if we got a 40% correction, worst case scenario, we could head all the way to 59,000 again. Oh my gosh. That would put some fear in the markets. If we got a 34%, we'd go all the way down to 65,000. I think a lot of people thought that we would never see the 60s again, but it still is in the cards, still possible. I'd say something like 70,000 is probably more likely. Maybe I would guess, because that's kind of a level there. This, you know, an even level, the 70,000 level, where we had a tremendous amount of resistance around that level, as you all remember if you're in the markets earlier this year. Okay, well, really interesting to note, really interesting to be prepared for that. I mean, we're only getting a tiny correction so far, so this is just not a big deal. 7%. All right, so we'll see what happens. We got to keep our eyes on this. If we did get a major 34% correction, I would be buying that opportunity personally, but I can't give any financial advice. Okay. So I will now get into the Bitcoin astrology, but first, really quick, spots are filling up fast for the Crypto Astro Mastermind, and there are still spots available with the special coupon code to the moon, which you type on the checkout page. I recently did a recent call about a shocking warning for 2025 and proof that this crypto cycle is different from every other crypto cycle in the past and how to prepare. And I'm not kidding. This is really, really fascinating. I gave proof with charts and data. I covered critical information about how this cycle is different, unlike any other Bitcoin cycle, and exactly what is likely going to play out this time, comparing it to a previous tech boom and bust cycle with expert technical analysis and an astrological analysis. Also, a massively huge update for 1 month in 2025, one specific month that will mark, I personally believe, a major potential dump or pullback. All right, because it's getting very similar to astrology as to what Bitcoin was getting back in this area right here when we got these dumps in the summer of this year. Okay, we're getting this as basically the same transit that we had back then, we're getting again in this exact month of next year. You won't want to miss it. I also added a new meme coin pick that I've already gotten a 10x on in only 2 weeks, guys. I literally got a 10x in 2 weeks, okay? No, I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying there's a chance it could do another 10x. It's very, very, very high risk. So I don't actually recommend this. But if you guys are interested what that coin is, because it is potentially the best performer in the market right now, I do give that coin, those picks in my private group. But of course, it's not guaranteed, not financial advice, just what I'm doing. And finally, guys, when you sign up today, you'll be able to apply for this is very brand new opportunity. You'll be able to apply for a Peak Profits private session with me, where I will personally guide you through my peak profit formula so you can maximize your profits in this bull run, this potential banana phase that we're heading into, potential mega altcoin run. All right, guys, what is the number one mistake that people made in the last bull run? They didn't take enough profits, right? Either they sold too soon or most people sold too late and they actually lost profits instead of gaining mega profits. So I will personally help you in this session to perfect your profit-taking strategy, which most people don't even have figured out. All right, so you don't want to miss out. Definitely take advantage of it. You don't want to F up this bull run. This is the time to make real incredible wealth for yourself and your family and your life goals. All right, so let me share this really quick. And we do have some things that people have been saying about the Crypto Astro Mastermind. Congratulations, people, for this gain progress. I guess we all deserve to enjoy some profits. So a lot of my members in the group are already getting a lot of profits. Jack, you are talented. Your analysis of the crypto markets are spot on. All right, they like the music as well. Kat Wong says, favorite Crypto Astro channel. Don't just get the free class. The mastermind class is really worth it. I go every month and love it. You get to ask questions in the chat too. That's right. I get to go through all your questions and answer all the questions that I can about your favorite altcoins or what your strategies are for profit taking. And this commenter says, I can only agree. Jack's videos and calls with analysis and astrology gave me deep insight about the cycles and potentials. I entered the market in September. This guy entered, fairly late in September, but at very good points, and he already has made solid increases, and he's very looking forward to the upcoming months until mid-February. Okay, so he actually, this particular person actually invested XRP. Look at this. Back in September, around these levels, around 50 cents. And look at, he just like tripled his money just within a couple months. All right, so not so bad, huh? Okay, so now we're gonna go over, oh, by the way, to join the Crypto Astro Mastermind, you just click the link below and you type in the coupon to the moon, and that is for the full pay option. Type in the code to the moon and you'll get some very, very nice discount for a very limited amount of time. If the coupon code works, then you know it's still available. If it doesn't work, then spots have run out. All right, so jump on that. Okay, now we want to go over a bit more of the Bitcoin astrology. So we are getting Mercury square the Bitcoin Uranus on the 18th and the 1st. There are some slight concerns here. We are getting Mercury square Saturn a couple days ago and again on the 29th. And then, but the good news is we're getting Mercury trining the Bitcoin Neptune, and hopefully this will save the day, will keep us from falling much further. And then of course we have the Mars trining the Bitcoin moon, but there is a chance, guys, that we could get a dump now heading in. I mean, it could last anywhere from 1 day to a couple weeks. That's certainly possible. We saw all those dumps that happened in 2016 in a mega bull run and a blow off top. But hopefully things will get better by the end of December. I mean, in the best case scenario, this is just a little blip, this Bitcoin dump here, and we are heading up very, very quickly. But like I said, there's definitely a possibility that it could last a week or so, in the worst case, 2 weeks. But even in that case, I would be buying the dip personally. All right, so I would be actually pretty excited about getting cheaper prices. Okay, so let's see if we have any commenters. Yes, yes, yes. Hodl to the top. Beautiful. But we all want to have a profit-taking strategy for when we believe the top is, because we don't always know when the top is. It's very, very difficult to figure out. Is Solana going to crash further? I don't know. I guess I'll have to do a Solana update, shouldn't I? What does the Solana astrology predict for November, December? Well, I'll come up with another Solana video. I believe it's overall good. Ethereum is looking very good. So I'm actually wondering, is Ethereum going to steal the show? Perhaps for the next 3 to 6 months. Do you think we will hit all-time high before the next full lunar eclipse in March 2025? I believe there is a fairly good chance of that, given that that's what's happened historically with the astrology. But if this time it's different, then that wouldn't be the case, obviously. But I think there's a more likely chance than that, but it's tough to say. It's tough to say. We never know for sure what's going to happen. So I'll have to update you on that next year when we get more clarity on what the markets are doing heading into 2025. You and OG. I'm a triple OG BTC since Liberty Reserve and Silk Road. Oh, glad to have you here, brother. Glad to have the OGs here. Cheers from Germany. Beautiful. Man, I'd love to visit Germany someday. I plan to hopefully go to Sweden, and then I would like to visit Germany as well. That'd be beautiful. All right, let's close it off. Let's close it off here, guys. Let's huddle up, and then let's close it with a epic Crypto Astro theme song, shall we? All right, peace, everybody.
The retrograde's got us feeling a bit strange, but we won't let confusion make us change. Crypto Astro, feel the beating of soul. Money trends are cold, it's out of control. Hold on, get strong, we'll never fade away. In this funky rhythm, we'll dance all day. Full moon's here, Bitcoin's in its prime. Bear market fears, we just laugh, it's no crime. Full market vibes, got our gang in the groove. With Satoshi spirit, we're ready to move. Not your keys, not your coins, that's the game. We'll hold tight now, we're all the same. Crypto Astro, feel the beat in your soul. Money printer, it's out of control. Whole gang strong, we'll never fade away. In this funky rhythm, we'll dance all day. To the moon we'll fly, and the stars will play. In the crypto universe, we find our way. To the moon we'll fly, and the stars will play. In the crypto universe, we find our way.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace, everybody.